welcome to Chesapeake Today. It's David Loop, your Executive Director.
Heather Wheeler, Director of Life Enrichment.
Heather, we're into your last week.
Yes,
Oh,
last week,
are you going to cry a hurricane?
probably.
That's my standard statement since you're moving to Tampa because you want to get closer to hurricanes and not be close to us. That you're just going to get this shower on you. But
I'm hoping I make it to the last day and make it into my car, but I'm sure on the way home for sure the floodgates are
the
going to start.
reflection. Well, again, I think as you and I have said from the moment you and I met, it is it's opportunities, adventures, journey. It's been a great year for you. We've enjoyed it, and
Enjoyed it.
it's been very much appreciated.
Thank you. I've
Nice
had an
work.
awesome year.
Good. So, I mean, here you're going out with a bang. We, let alone this week, it's been a lot going on. So I guess we can always take a
Yeah.
quick look back
Yeah.
to last week. Uwe was busy. He had some memorial services.
Yes.
So we're very
He is busy
reflective
now.
of
Thank
those
you,
residents
Uwe.
that we lost. But other things that you're thinking of from last week.
Oh, we had a lot going on last week, and I didn't bring the June calendar, so
President
we had
Council
some
was-
trips, town hall. What else do we have going on? We had a lot at
It
the end of the
was.
month. It's
Yeah.
always
So
packed.
the town hall, and again, just to hit some reflections on that because that is relevant. And
Yeah.
we had some good conversations about hurricane preparedness, some discussions financially, things that have been happening with resident council because it's important that we really, understand how is the Chesapeake performing financially, what challenges exist yet to the end of this year, and of course helping all of you understand and be knowledgeable about what to expect with those January 1st increases.
Yes.
So that's out there. We had a couple nice acknowledgements. We acknowledged Tiffany and Charlene and Doug because they've done a wonderful job with the entrances.
Yes.
So that was good.
Yes.
We had a couple acknowledgements of our foundation
Mhm.
scholarships, so that occurred. It just do not disturb, or see if you just thought I did that. Sorry for the phone interruption, but that's live television or recorded as well. So with that, trying to think other things from the town hall. A lot of good report. It was fascinating last week that we were able to report with all the subvariant B. We only had 2 cases as of
Yeah.
last Thursday.
Yeah, I think this whole year looking back, we've fared very well. I think we have some good controls in for communication, for quarantines, for all levels throughout the campus. I think
Yeah.
Chesapeake does a good job, thanks to all the clinical staff especially.
Yep, and as we reported, there
Yeah.
will be a subvariant, is it 5A,
I don't know.
5B, 5AB, 5ABC. We'll have extra boosters occurring towards the middle, end of October. That's really what our medical director is recommending. For those of us who've already had the 2 shots, 2 boosters, this will be a 5th, but it's gonna be specific to that subvariant. So that will be occurring in a couple months.
Okay.
All right, so town hall was busy. We then shared with the residents that we're doing something this week, so if you're seeing this on Monday or Tuesday, even if you're seeing it on Wednesday, hopefully everything's back and okay, because we did the power shut off. Did that Wednesday night.
Wednesday night into Thursday AM.
Okay. So with that being
Lots of
said,
planning.
either we hope it goes well or it's gone well. We try to give everybody advance notice, and I really think it's been a great practice session.
Yeah.
Probably beyond any preparedness we've had in the past for a hurricane
Good.
power outage.
Good. I have unfortunately lived through a few coming from Tampa, and real life things. So
Yeah.
this is going to be doing that is good.
Yeah.
Good
and
preparation.
I think, just as you've experienced it, I have not yet. We had a 3-day outage 2 years ago. And that was a little bit weather related, but it had
Okay.
some other factors.
Okay.
But obviously you probably talked to some of our residents and they vividly remember the name of that hurricane that was specific. And there's a couple that's hit Hampton Roads over
Okay.
the last few decades.
Mm-hmm.
And the one, I want to say it was like 11-day power outage, et cetera. So it was pretty significant.
I remember Floyd from 2000.
But that was still more southern, wasn't that real hard in Florida?
Or was that 1999? It might have been 1999.
Yeah.
I was here. I was living in
Oh,
Williamsburg.
okay, so you remembered up
And
here.
I remember it because we lost a tree in our front yard, and we lived on the main street to our subdivision, and that went across it, and people were trying to get around it, but it was a big pine tree, tall, and if it had gone that way, it would have split our house in two, but because it went across to the
That
road,
was-
we were thinking,
Well, the
Not
residents
for
will
that.
probably remember the name. I can't tell you
That was-
yes or no because I wasn't around.
Right.
But it's amazing how those hurricane names stick in your mind when
Mhm.
they hit home.
Irma took out my son's car, totaled it,
Okay, so you have
Big
that
tree.
memory.
yep, so I can name a few
So
instances.
our hope is between the power outage and some of the preparations will be better prepared, but that's real significant this week.
Mhm.
We're gonna do something sweet Wednesday afternoon?
We are, Wednesday afternoon, we're gonna do an ice cream truck, like we did last summer.
Yeah,
That was kind of when I first got here,
Mhm.
I think, within the first month. So, it's kind of gonna be my last, event,
Yeah.
personal event. And I'm hoping, please come out and see us for an ice cream treat. We'll probably put out a schedule.
put the schedule so you'll know when to pop out in front of your neighborhood.
Right.
And we will be there with a smile, with some ice cream novelties, and
I'm hoping to see a lot of people one-on-one, just for even a minute,
yeah,
just to be able to, say goodbye in case I don't see everybody. I'm gonna try to see as many as I can.
now if anyone says that we had to bribe people to come and say goodbye to you, it's not true. But
I didn't think of that. That's funny. Okay.
That's my joke.
Let's
for
throw a
you
party.
afterwards.
Heather's going.
So when Bruce says, how many ice creams did you give away? Well, those who really wanted to say goodbye to Heather. So we'll have fun with
That's
that.
funny. Okay. Yep. If that anything you guys have learned over the last year about me, I can definitely laugh at myself.
But
I have fun.
I think the residents though will want. I think it was just a different way of sort of handling that send off and to do something nice.
Yeah.
Those ice cream things have been fun and they have brought good attendance. So
Yeah. Summer
very
ice
cool.
cream truck. I have some ideas
Yeah.
for decorating
Is it our
that.
truck? Is it our golf cart?
It's a golf cart. We're just,
Yeah.
I
See, the year before though, we did use a pickup truck.
I did hear
and
that.
oh my gosh, I remember we put a freezer in the back of that thing, and we were climbing up and back and forth. We finally stuck Chris Murstein, who was the associate
Mhm.
director of dining.
Yes.
He just stayed up there because
Yeah.
the rest of us we're not climbing up. They're
Yeah,
just
I
handing us the
don't think
product.
my knees can handle it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with the golf cart, but I've already got some ideas of how to decorate it in my head here. So awesome.
Okay, so we have that. I know that you've been spending some time with Candace, and thank you.
Yeah.
And she'll do well. She's
Absolutely.
had a nice time to work with you. She's done a beautiful job on the connections, on the newsletters the last couple of months.
Programming.
Whole
Mhm.
team,
Mhm.
wonderful. So
She
that's
has.
great news. And I guess the curiosity, I know she's working on with NIFS to place another person
Right.
so that there will be very little, no disruption of exercise class, etc.
That's right.
I know we're still thinking about Rose and
Yeah.
anxious for her quick recovery, Rose
Yes.
Winter, because getting her back for
Yoga.
massage therapy and yoga
Mhm.
and
She
all
does a
those
lot.
things is important. So
Yes.
thinking about Rose.
Yes. Wishing
Um,
a speedy recovery to her from
so,
her accident.
And again, I know that, your team will, persevere. They're going to continue to seek that part-time
Mhm.
position. I think, and that's for to assist Candace and Isaiah,
And Isaiah.
et cetera,
Yes.
and you all, because that's a little bit of technology.
Yes.
And then the second part of it is you've got, I know in the salon, seeking a part-time person, because we're
Yep.
really trying to, again, ramp up the services, the offerings, and give you an
Mhm.
alternative stylist that I think
Right.
could be of interest.
Yes, when we added that position, the nail tech that eluded us when I first got here, that had been open since pre-COVID, I think,
Yeah,
or around
yeah.
COVID, and that was eluding us for a long time. And then we found somebody, Daphne. She's great. She's with us, and she is part-time. But man, I think if she could, we could fill more hours with her.
Mhm.
So thank you, Daphne. She's doing a great job. So we're trying to do the same thing. It's kind of like you build it, they will come. We
Mhm.
added the nail tech. She's completely, booked up.
Good.
So add another part-time hairstylist,
Mhm.
2 full-time, somewhere in between there, and I think they'll come. We'll
Good.
be ready to do more. So if you get your hair done outside of the community, I understand people have lifelong,
Yeah.
people who do your hair, but if you ever wonder about the people we're bringing in here, definitely qualified, definitely good people, so give us a try. It might be a little more convenient for you.
Absolutely. another thing that
Yeah.
I know the ball's moving on, and that is with the generous approach to help our team members with getting back to school.
Yes.
It's really our team members' children.
Mhm.
So last year, it was funny, 62, I'm trying to remember that backpack
I
number
think it was
from last year.
56.
56, okay.
I think.
So 56
That's
backpacks
the number.
last year.
Mhm.
We collected a good amount of money.
Mhm.
We're collecting money again this year. I'm offering my first $100 donation, so I will get it started.
Mhm.
And then we will add to that with your generosity residents. And then between yours, Candace's, the team's effort, we'll get the
Mhm.
supplies. We'll pull
Yes.
some residents together to help assemble them,
Yes.
and then have maybe 56 again. We
Mhm.
just want to qualify it that we have the right list of team members whose children really are of age, need that
Mhm.
help,
Right.
and important.
Last year we had a couple of instances where, or situations where it was a grandchildren or a
Yeah.
niece or a nephew that lives in your home. So if you're a teammate here and they live in your home and you're their caretaker, you can apply.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. It's for
Mhm.
who's in your home. It's going back to school. That we know it's a big cost.
But I was listening to a broadcast news, and that newscaster did their little research and said it is not uncommon for a parent to pay $500 to get ready
Yeah.
for school, to get
Yeah.
a child to go back to school.
Right.
You got 2 or 3
Right.
kids, $1,500. That's beyond the
Mhm.
means of any of our employees.
Yeah, so we've got backpacks and we put basic supplies in there. And we do it according to age. I do a little bit of research for Newport News and surrounding schools, an elementary basic list, a middle school, and a high school, all basic list.
Mhm.
So I know they might ask you if they have Chromebooks, they might ask you to get earpods and or buds and stuff like that. We haven't done that. What we're doing is the basic supplies. So we're doing whether they ask for a binder, loose leaf paper, pens, pencils, and glue sticks for the elementary school, stuff like that. And they ask for 4 jumbo-sized glue sticks. So we're making sure we're getting 3 or 4 of those. So we're getting you the bulk of a lot of things you spend your money on, but they're like things you
Yeah.
don't necessarily think about or don't see the return on it because they take them there the first day of school and you don't see them ever again. So you're thinking sneakers and clothes and stuff. So you can do those. Maybe you have to worry about those anyway. So we're taking out the basic supplies that might cost
Yeah.
you $50, $100. We're taking that out.
Exactly, and helping,
Giving.
because I remember this news report, one of the things that she said was, if a parent can get together with a number of other parents and split bulk packaging.
Yes.
Well, that's what we're really doing.
Yes.
We're buying these supplies, et cetera, in bulk and larger portions,
Mhm.
and that in itself helps reduce the cost.
Absolutely.
So, neat event, one of our little social accountability things that we do, but we appreciate residents' help on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll be hearing from either myself this week or Candace maybe
Yep.
this next week, getting together. I think we had maybe 5, 6, 7 residents last year that we set up an assembly line and we had whether the, child, which school,
Mhm.
age they were
Yeah.
in the 3 categories and filled them up and
Good, neat
it's
thing to
good.
do.
Thank you too
Okay.
to the residents who are gonna step forward.
All right, so that's there. So I think we're bridging some of those topics either from town halls and things of the past. We talked about, yes, the occurrences this week with the ice cream as well as the power shut off. So
Mhm.
maybe that's a sweet beginnings ending, right? Doing
Right.
the ice cream right around the power shut off. So what other
Right.
things are happening on the calendar?
Okay, so we have a concert under the stars, the alumni concert at Fort Eustis, I believe, it doesn't say here, but I believe it's Fort Eustis on Thursday the 4th. And then on Friday, we have a trip to the Friday evening Peninsula Community Theater, Dreamgirls.
Mhm.
So a couple of outings for there, and I wanna plug Wednesday, Jody Leonard from the foundation is coming to do my life plan workshop, which she did before, in the spring after we had the breakfast.
Mhm.
She came that day. She's doing it again on Wednesday at 10 o'clock and at 2 o'clock. And you do have to register on Touchdown, so if you can't register on your own, give me a call. I'll register you. Reason being, because she has the binders and everything, and so she's prepared to do up to 12, I think she said, or maybe it's 10 in one class, because she wants a small setting, an explorer room. So give me a call. We'll add you to that Lifespire initiative that's going on. I don't know
Great.
if you want to talk about that at all, because I don't know if people know what to expect. It's on the calendar, but
Yeah.
my life plan workshop.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be the expert. I really defer to Jody.
Jody,
But
right.
I think what the whole program is just to help residents think through into their future. And it's just, there are a number of elements of how you can be supportive to your family and help in planning. I think there's just a number of things to just think ahead.
Right, think ahead and maybe some things that you might not necessarily think of, you
Yeah.
know, because, you know, I know me, I can't think of everything, so when other people
Yeah.
point out, did you think of this?
Yeah, well, and maybe what we can do is maybe embellish a little bit more as we move forward, because residents have such an interest in coming to Donna's Chesapeake University presentations
Exploring
on
levels of care,
levels of
right.
care.
Mm-hmm.
And this gets into a little bit of financial and a little bit of maybe
Yeah.
some legal planning as well as some other, you know, I think Jody's always such a thoughtful person. Sometimes it's even thinking about those legacies with
Yes.
family. So there's
Yes.
things there. But
Well said, yes.
we'll continue to help with that.
Mm-hmm, so that's Wednesday, and I already talked about Thursday and Friday, so, very beginning of the week, which you might already you know, that might be past when you're seeing this, as our lunch trip is the first Friday, we're going to El Fresco.
Okay.
I have not been there, so,
Very nice Italian. I've been there a couple times, actually taking the marketing team there to celebrate
Okay.
a couple occasions. So
nice, okay.
nice restaurant.
Yep.
Amazing. First week of August.
Now, of course, if we extend it out to August a little bit, we have the Iron Chef competition, we've talked about a few times on this touch, that's the
Yeah.
16th,
Yeah.
only 20 spots.
Yeah.
Because last year we had more, because it was all just our residents, but now we are hosting Lakewood's team to come and do this, so they have 20 spots, so we've
Okay.
split it, so get in early.
That'll be interesting. Good.
Get your
A lot
reservation
of
in
fun
early,
there.
call concierge and reserve.
Okay.
And what else do we have it going on for the month I wanna touch, do you have a travel log this
Doing
month?
it. Yep.
I think, I
I
hope
do.
that date's right.
It is correct. We're doing it Wednesday this time, so appreciate flexibility there. But I'll be doing the presentation on, again, always a tidbit about Albania, but then I'm going to really
Mhm.
dive into Spain.
Cause that's
So
where you met.
Barcelona, Madrid,
Mhm.
and Toledo. Oh, not Toledo, Ohio, not Klinger, not Holy
That's what I was
Toledo.
thinking of, Toledo, Ohio, I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
you could
'cause
do
again,
travel log on that?
I would not take a vacation to Toledo, Ohio. I like one to, there's some neat restaurants and interesting things in
Okay.
Toledo, but it's not that vacation mecca.
Right.
But Toledo, Spain,
Spain,
gorgeous.
didn't realize that was in
Absolutely
Spain, okay.
Yep, it's just
Awesome.
a short little train ride from Madrid and just a breathtaking, beautiful little city.
I hope to get to Europe
Yep.
someday, I have not.
The cathedral there, the
I bet.
castle, it sits on this incredible bluff, and I had to walk up. And then Vera and I went all the way to the top of a steeple that
You-
was the highest lookout. And I
With
did
the rental
that.
car, was that same time or
That
was
was
that a different time?
one.
Okay,
That
okay,
one,
sorry,
that was a
different
mountain we
story.
could drive up. This is when we walked up. So we left the train station and we walked all the way to get up
How far?
to,
Good hike?
25,000 steps in that day.
Good hike?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And of
Okay,
course, that's
good for
when
you.
that's when I was being tested by European arthritis in my knee.
You're
So it was a little tough, but
It's a specific strain.
I humpbacked it one leg at a time up them steps, and I got to the top of that steeple, and it was good. So
Okay. It was rewarding enough,
It was,
okay.
and you can see the
Okay.
pictures. I'll show it to all of you.
So
it
come
was
to
fun.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So later in the month.
Maybe you'll tell them the story you told us about
I
when you
could,
drove
because I
up.
will. I'll do that
Okay,
as my
awesome.
intro pictures, and
That's a good story too.
Korcha, Albania, absolutely.
Awesome, okay.
All right, so
Thank you.
it will be a wonderful month. By that time, you will be producing your own travel log down in Tampa. So best wishes there. But next week, will we have one more recording?
We do, and this is 107, episode 107. So you started this way back with Kim
Yeah.
during COVID, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one of the things that came out of that. You know, COVID wasn't totally bad. I mean, we
Yeah.
got some good things out of this.
Yeah.
And then I came in around 60, 61,
Mm-hmm.
and this is 107, I believe.
Okay.
And so next week, my last one will be 108.
Okay. Well,
108.
it will be marked in eternity, and it will become part of our bloopers in the future. So always good.
Oh, I'm sure. We never did that. We really would have a good bloopers segment if we did that.
Yeah.
Many.
There are some. Alrighty.
Awesome. Yeah.
Does that give us a coverage? I think
I
that's
think
sort of a
so.
little update for the residents. Thanks for hanging with
Yes.
us on this varied conversation as always. And
Oh.
again, you have something else you're thinking?
Yeah, I do want to mention, we have mentioned a few times in a row, so I'm
Yeah.
going to mention again, because I put some stuff in some cubbies about the resident clubs that are
Yes.
starting. So there's a reading club. Now, Alice Boring came to me, and she said she's getting a lot of calls that people with low vision or vision impairments have called her and said, well, I can't come to that. No, you are a key part of it. It's both. It's residents who want to come and maybe read an excerpt from something, or read a play, or read something. And then the other part is residents who want to listen, or residents with the visual impairments that want to listen. And maybe even you could coordinate that you bring something you want read at some point, you know, or it's also making these connections between residents and residents, that not just during that club, but can the residents who want to help the other residents that need help reading mail or a legal document or something, just reading out loud, one-on-one. That sets these connections up. So that's what that is. So don't think you have to read to be part of it. No, it's both sides. And then of course we have John Napier is doing the starting the club with a creative writing or
creative expression, creative.
Yeah, same
acting,
thing.
whatever.
It's going to morph to whatever you as the residents feel like is going to be, you're getting the most excitement out of, the most out of rewards.
Yeah.
So that's what this is about, and the key is it's resident run, which is awesome because you have autonomy over it. You can do what you want.
Yep.
So wanted to mention that before.
Good. Well, we appreciate and definitely support this club's being formed.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we'll call that a wrap for this section of Chesapeake Today. We're going to pause for a moment, and we're going to come back and have a fun interview of the week, someone you've not met.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to this week's version of Chesapeake Today, and we've got a special interview today. Someone you haven't met previously, haven't even heard her name, but you're going to learn a little bit about her. Today I have Kelly Serio with us. Kelly, welcome.
Thank you.
And Kelly is an intern with LifeSpire Virginia, and during the time we've been recording this, she's been visiting us and helping out with the strategic planning process. So we said, Kelly, perfect time to get to know you. And I think what the residents will appreciate is the importance of LifeSpire and even the Chesapeake of having folks like you, interns coming in, exploring, learning, potentially joining us at some point in the future and working.
We'll see.
That's right. So just to put a little perspective, where are you originally from, Kelly?
I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Okay. And high school there, college?
Yes, so I went to Jefferson Forest High School in Lynchburg, and then I go to Virginia Tech.
Aha.
So that's good.
You got, right there, you just had around 50 people clapping.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they're, yeah, oh my gosh, I can think of Furmans and Leftwiches and
Good.
some of these other folks. They're very, very loyal.
Go Hokies.
Yeah, very cool. So, what's been your major while you've been going to school?
So I study hospitality and tourism management at Virginia Tech. And I got into that because I started working at the Summit in Lynchburg as a dining room server, and that's where I found my passion for serving others. And so I kind of took that and turned it into what I want to do. So yeah.
Very cool. All right, you said it, and you probably have to explain further. Summit is what, and how is it now affiliated with us?
Right. The Summit is another retirement community in Lynchburg, and LifeSpire acquired them last year on October 1st. So yeah, I kind of reached out to them when that happened, and they created this internship for me.
That is wonderful. Well, let's explore a little bit further. You said that during high school years you worked as a server.
Yes.
All right. Can you imagine, residents, if we had this caliber of young women? Yeah, this is what we always strive for, and we have great servers, but I'm sure the residents enjoyed being with you.
Yes.
What are some of your memories? You think about being a server. What was some of those highlights? Those days you're like, oh, this is fun.
Okay, so my favorite was before the pandemic. We would do like action stations during the like dinner. Every Friday night they would do like a special action station, pizza night, quesadillas, cobblers, everything. And I would always be like the person who worked them. And I would just really get to connect like one-on-one with the residents during those times.
Yeah.
Because I was the one like serving and just like right there behind the hot bar, just helping out. So that was like my favorite, and just getting to know the residents and just learning all about their experiences too.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure they really enjoyed just seeing your energy. It's obvious as you're chatting with us, and I think that it just we vitalize, and I say we, all of us, but particularly our younger team members, we vitalize residents because we just bring that energy, that life. They're curious,
Right.
etc. So, did you ever have any dress-up occasions? Did you ever go back after prom or for pictures or anything like that to the summit, or?
So I've actually talked about my boyfriend a lot to the residents, and so this summer I brought him to work one day, and just they all met him, and they were all so excited. So that was a really good memory for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think it happens in any of our communities, and it sounds like, again, an example for us is just like making us feel like family.
Yeah.
And we're all together, and that's cool. Very nice.
Exactly.
So, you then are studying this tourism and
Mhm.
hospitality,
Mhm.
which is an excellent major, as you and I have talked.
Right.
It is a good segue to so many things.
Right.
So, between your Summit server experience
Mhm.
and now your experience here at
Mhm.
Lifespire, what are your thoughts? Is it going to be a track, or where do you see yourself? What aspirations do you now have?
Right. So I think since I've been visiting all the communities, I've definitely seen the emphasis on hospitality within some of the places I've been, and that kind of just on reflecting this past week, especially last night after I had my first day at the Chesapeake, I kind of really want to start emphasizing on that hospitality aspect. Maybe hopefully working a little job out of that somehow. But yeah.
It's good. Well, one of the things that we say to all of our team members upon orientation, and it's in our training and presentation, and it's like we are invited into the residents' home to serve them.
Right.
And I believe that's one of our most strongest statements to really tie us into how we are here to serve. So that's one.
Mm-hmm.
You and I've chatted a little bit about the wonderful Disney and Ritz-Carlton, and there are so many other great practices. You haven't witnessed our Lead Them Smiling program,
Right.
but part of Lead Them Smiling, which is hospitality training, at some point in the middle of this training, we challenge our team members, what are the companies that they know of that provide excellent customer service?
Right.
And always a team member will say, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A,
That
yeah.
will always come out, and they know of it's my pleasure. And then they may say an upscale hotel.
Right.
Ritz-Carlton, Hyatt, whatever. Okay, good one. Some have said a certain restaurant they've had an experience in. A couple have said an airline. Southwest or even WestJet have a little different approach. But then the next question to them is, how do you think Chick-fil-A and those companies achieve that? And we sort of prompt them a little bit. They
Right.
usually will come around and say, well, it must have been they were requested and then trained.
Right.
And that's where that training is so important, hospitality. And then what I do with them and say, you've just seen this list of companies that we now agree, including Disney, et cetera, that are excellent hospitality. What do you think our primary objective of this training is? And I will often have a team member say, we want to be on that list.
Right.
And I said, that's right. We want the Chesapeake to come top of mind, that anyone in this Hampton Roads area or beyond say, where is a wonderful place for hospitality? And for them to say, it's where I live, I'm a resident of Chesapeake. Or it's a son or daughter saying, it's where my mom or dad live.
Right.
Or a team member saying, I think we do it at the Chesapeake. So that's where I envision this hospitality goal really has to be.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. We want our communities to be renowned.
Right.
For that customer service.
Right.
And it's beyond customer service, it's hospitality.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
So anyways, interesting, great major, so that's good. So now let's talk a little bit further. Okay, this summer, you've been a partner, a sidekick, everything
Right.
to Lisa Legier, who handles she's our chief strategic officer,
Right.
doing strategic planning.
Yes.
All right, give me your quick definition. What is our strategic plan? I'm testing you.
Oh.
What is a topic? What is a strategic plan?
In what
Well,
sense?
just in the sense of, okay, what is our objective? What are we trying to do this summer?
Oh, we're trying to grow.
We're trying to grow.
Trying to grow.
Okay, and we're trying to, probably in this strategic plan, a lot of education sessions.
Right.
So we've been educating people,
Mhm.
and then we're going to be bringing people together to different campuses, doing SWOT analysis,
Yes.
with the intent of then producing a plan.
Yes.
Strategy, though, I understand is different than a master plan,
Right.
because master plan gets into buildings,
Yes. The communities.
construction.
Yep.
Strategic plan can encompass so much more.
Right.
So fascinating. I now seen the one educational session you all were sharing on human resources,
Right.
the workforce,
Right.
eye opener.
Mhm.
What are some of the other ones that we're doing on the education front?
On August 2nd, there will have been the healthcare
Yes.
session, and then later in August, I believe August 25th, is the business intelligence session. So, and those are both on Zoom and available on the website.
And I think what is fascinating how Lisa and all of you planned this is
Mhm.
these. I think they're end up because we had one more. We had a business segment or sort of like that new trends, new generations.
Oh, the
topic.
Next Gen Senior Living.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
it. So I think it's 4 education sessions that we've invited resident council leaders to,
Mhm.
some of our resident advisory folks, and then there's been an overlay of us managers.
Mhm.
So we're all partnering and learning, and then also, as the time you've seen this, we would have had a session of strategic planning coming together, where we will really be putting some paper and pencil thoughts down that will help prepare our piece of it. Big overviews for all of Lifespire, and then some strategies that we need to consider here, a little different in Hampton Roads compared to Lakewood or Roanoke or even Lynchburg.
Right.
Or Culpeper, don't want to leave you out, Jim. So those are things there. So a pretty amazing experience. So you met a lot of people,
Yes, a lot of people.
visited the different campuses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So any takeaways you're going to have from this experience of this strategic plan?
I honestly had no idea like it was such an important and crucial part to businesses and business planning, and so it's actually really interesting because it gets to touch on every single piece of a company or organization, and I kind of like that actually because I'm one concern of mine is like I'm worried I'm gonna get to a job and I'm gonna feel so confined into like just one section, and I like the strategic planning because it gets to hit on everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's going to be, I think, enjoyable for us to see how it all comes together. And
Right.
because as I've learned over my life is that the best strategic plan for any organization, it just remains this living, breathing process,
Right.
document.
Right.
It's a plan, but then we keep revisiting it, looking at it. So how do we track on it? I know, with our leaders at Lifespire, we'll be on top of that. So
Definitely.
great exercise.
Yeah.
Alrighty. When you're not interning,
Mhm.
you're not school, and I understand you've only got like a few more months.
Yes,
You're gonna be-
December.
December, and you're like graduating in a miraculous 2.5 years.
Yep.
That is impressive.
Thank you.
So you're doing it. You're obviously a bright student and motivated, and you've been working.
Yes.
So that's all happening. You mentioned your boyfriend, but
Yes.
any other hobbies, interests,
Um,
anything you like to do for fun?
Sure. I like to work, of course. I work on the weekends when I'm not
Okay.
doing my internship.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I like to do anything outside. I like going to the lake, to the beach, hiking, everything. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
Having been through Lynchburg recently, it's got some interesting topography.
right.
The rivers, I remember going around and seeing all these buildings, and then that hotel with the big boot,
Yes.
a shoe. I understand whenever you
Yes.
stay there, your breakfast is put in a shoebox.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've never known that.
So
That's
trivia,
awesome.
I helped you with that. So
Thank
that's
you.
amazing. And then I went to this wonderful place where I got these, it's Sinful Sweet Swin, Sinful,
Oh, Sin City.
Sin City.
Yes.
I mean, I got these rolls and all this sweet
Yeah.
stuff.
I've only been there once.
Well, I've been there too,
Yeah.
but only once. So I'm trying to see it
Yeah.
on all of Virginia, but that was my experience there.
Awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
hope you had a good time.
It was
Good.
neat. And then just seeing the awareness of those universities there. I know it's not Virginia Tech where you
Right.
go, but between Liberty, is there another college?
University of Lynchburg.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 in that town.
Yes.
That's impressive. Very
Yes.
fine. But you still stretched away and went a little bit further
Right.
southwest to your school,
Right. My sister went there, so I kind of was drawn to it.
to Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you for your support and help with all of the communities this summer with strategic planning. glad it's been a good internship. Of course, not just because I've got you recorded right now, you'll have to tell Lisa and everyone that the best in the East, in fact, maybe the best in Lifespire, in Chesapeake, and that it's just, more than anything, I hope we are that warm, engaging place where people want to live and work.
Yes, I definitely think so.
Perfect. Alrighty, well, on behalf of another interview with Chesapeake Today, we appreciate you joining us, and Kelly, best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
Take care.